All right, then, here we are, spawning in the upper left. In the red, she is the Queen of Blades for Shopify Rebellion, playing Zerg this time. Raise your hands together for SCARLETT. I thought I had that fixed. And while her opponent spawning in the bottom right, in the blue, he is, for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, newly returned Hero. And SCARLETT here for not even bothering with the natural. I believe the probe was there in time anyways. So we got a hatch block coming on up here from Hero, making sure that SCARLETT has to be a little bit uncomfortable in this game. Granted, the hatch block is not new anymore. Most Zerg players have absolutely learned how to deal with it, but, well, it does mean you have a little bit of openings. Adepts can maybe find a little bit of work on the occasional game. And at the highest level, right, we've watched a couple SCARLETT games thus far where it's SCARLETT. She's really kind of styling on a Masters opponent, which, Masters is not bad, but it's not SCARLETT. And she's killing players with like her first two Adepts, with that first Oracle, with not dying to a Speedling all in that really wasn't scouted until kind of late. But this is a game where we are at the highest level. This is a game where we're gonna see something a little bit, a game with a little bit more nuance to it. And in games like that, right, where it is all about the small things, and whether you expand a 28 or 32 supply, where you expand, whether you're able to get a surround on a probe, whether you're able to deny that scout, all of these things, well, forcing the Zerg to expand in a bit more vulnerable position early on does make life a little bit more difficult for that Zerg player. Granted, 9 times out of 10, 99 games out of 100. Yeah, Buckboy, I get that one. It is hot out here in Texas too. Oh man, I would love to. Oh, and thank you so much, Buckboy. Or Zalgren. I'm not exactly sure who set up the predictions, but I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. But yeah, I feel that it's hot in Texas. And man, I'm excited for GIF emotes to pop up for affiliate by the end of the year. Or, you know, maybe I get a lot of traction and suddenly start getting 100 viewers a broadcast and I make partner too, which would be nice. I'm under no illusions that if I get that, I'm, you know, probably a year and a half out. And this sounds like there's a lot of buzz in my voice tonight. That is unfortunate. Again, new setup. I've moved to a new place, so maybe there's some interference on this setup that wasn't previously. Let me know if that's really, if you hear that. It might just be something I hear in my end because I got volume amped up a little bit. But anyways, we should probably talk about this game because it looks like Hero, he's going for that 353rd base, but this is, I think, a bit of a bait. We have 3 more gates on the way, as well as the Twilight that was, of course, before 4 minutes. So we're gonna see, yeah, there we go, Glaives on the way, a variant of that stat build that we were talking about in the previous game with SCARLETT, where everything that Hero is doing right now is to convince SCARLETT that he's playing a game that he is not. It's all about tricks and smoke and mirrors, all about the little tricks that Hero can pull off to make sure that SCARLETT scouts this as a Stargate opening with a 353rd base that is going to be on into, well, maybe a bunch of Void Rays defending that 3rd base, getting on into Storm, all that fun stuff. That's not what Hero is going for. In fact, Hero, well, he's got Glaives on the way, of course, and that means that he's looking to hit a much faster timing. Now, SCARLETT, she should have the Roach Warren in time, and she does have a couple more Zerglings on the way. She gets up to 47. She's going to go up to 53 workers, and really she needs to stop there. Ideally, she probably stops at 48, somewhere around there. But, you know, with 53, she should be fine. The Roach Warren is done, and she has a couple more Overlords on the way. So she should be able to build enough Roach Warrens or enough Roaches to really make that defense happen. There we go. But the Adepts are already underway. Glaives is done, and the Roaches are not done yet. So SCARLETT, he's in a little bit of a panic mode here. There we go. 7 Roaches on the way. She understands what's happening. Has she realized this just too little, too late? Now the Adepts, they're going to look to shade on in. They actually, they will complete that shade because that is an undefended mineral line. The drones are going to have to be pulled, but they're going to be pulled maybe a little bit too late now. Nice transfuses will keep the majority, actually all of these queens alive for the time being, as we have that, well, actually a couple are now dying, but the DRG defense is rather good indeed. Zerglings are going to get us around. Hero, he shades on top of a bunch of roaches as well. They should all go down, and this, as good as it looked for Hero at the start, is disastrous. What did he get? He got 3 queens is nice. 3 queens, 4 workers, and that's it. That is not enough here for Hero. And now notice Scarlett. She understands what type of a situation she is in this game. She's got the queens walking. She's got the roaches. She's just got more roaches lings. No drones on the production tab anymore. It is time to get aggressive. Wow, it is like 30%. That is insane. Granted, in Dallas today we got rain, so it wasn't all that hot. But in general, it's been insanely hot out here. Anyway, so a couple of Adepts. It's always the last 2 Adepts of a push like this. It's not like the big commitment. It's like the last 2. But anyways, that's not really the story of the game at this point. There's only 1 Void Ray here, so the Queens, they not only need to knock down that 1 Void Ray, maybe heal, a bunch of the Ravagers. That would be nice. 11 workers do go down, so now Scarlett is well and truly all in from a position of strength. This is This is maybe a position of weakness, but this is still a powerful army. She's still up 30 army supply. Well, we have Immortals here. We have shield batteries. That shield battery is going to go down rather quickly indeed. Zergling's getting on top of all these Immortals. The shield batteries, the hardest shield is now done. Biles is going to force this army to have to go back. And now the Ravagers, they're going to find their way on into the natural. We're going to see that pylon go down, which means 2 gates are going to be depowered here. The Queens are still firing strong. The border is going to go down just barely. And this is not enough for Hero, even with the damage he got done on the other side of the map. Scarlett is equalizing it in spades. In fact, maybe with a trowel, maybe with a shovel as well, because there is nothing left for Hero in this game. GG Scarlett. She takes game number 1. Now game number 2. It's another opportunity here for Hero to show us what he's made of for Scarlett. Maybe slam the door on Hero's hopes here in ESL Open Cup North America number 77. Maybe, just maybe, for Hero to go and do something that he has not yet done, and that is make it past the round of 16. Because, of course, on Saturday, he lost out against the Zerg as well. He was 2-0'd by Ragnarok in a rather one-sided series. I mean, Hero looked good. Ragnarok, he just looked better. And you know what? Maybe this is going to be it. So we have a Twilight Council on the way extremely quickly. And with no Robo on the... Okay, never mind. This is just going to be Glaives once again, but it's going to be a much faster Glaives. This is the Glaives that hit at 4:30. And Scarlett's going to get on in, and she's going to say, "Hey, Hero! That's interesting. What you doing there, Hero?" She won't get a worker. I don't think, yeah, she should not get a worker, but that's all that she cares about. She's like, "Yeah, I saw that there is Glaives on the way. That is really useful to me." Now, Hero could throw a wrench in this and make this 7-gate Glaives, go really all in off of this. Or he could go the other direction, understanding that this is scouted, not really commit to it all that well or all that powerfully, and just drop a Robobay quickly. Go for the Zoun build of getting disruptors and trying to counter Scarlett's counter. But whatever the case, it's not ideal here for Hero, to say the least. And of course, he could also just commit to the build that he had already decided to go for, under the idea that Scarlett's going to assume that there's no way he's going to do it because it's been scouted. Which realistically is not what's going to happen here, as we already see Zerglings on the way. Scarlett on the 41 worker mark. That is that just optimal holding position that we see. That Scarlett would want to go for. Roaches on the way, Zerglings on the way, but Hero, it looks like he's posturing at least a little bit to take a 3rd base. And this is only 3 gate, it's not 4. So maybe Hero is attempting to pretend that he's going to get aggressive when he really doesn't want to be. And I think Scarlett's realized that as well. So more and more workers underway here. She's like, Hero, you're getting a 3rd base. You have double gas on your natural. You're not going all in off this. You're not going for that. You're not going for the 430 build. Although, as I say that, more depths are warping in. So maybe he is, and now Scarlett, more Zerglings on the way. She was able to fit in just a couple more drones, though. And that is rather nice. Although, of course, 3 of those workers did turn into spores, just making sure that Hero's not going for a Dark Shrine or something. Which is possible, right? If this is this delayed, it's 30 seconds delayed, you gotta assume that maybe Hero's gonna be doing something a little bit funky. Although also you understand that Hero has taken his 3rd base. Maybe more Adepts underway here, as we do, of course, have the Robobay on the way as well. Hero, he's not gonna make the mistake of shading on in this time, and I like this a little bit more. He has adepts out front. That's what is that, like 9 odd adepts. Meanwhile, War Prism in the main base with 3 to 6. It looks like it's only gonna be 3 for the moment. And really the goal here is to just really try to force SCARLETT to multitask. Maybe force her to make a mistake, but as of right now, she has not made that mistake whatsoever. Yeah, hubris works. Thank you, Pete Tux. I like to believe I'm a font of knowledge, but sometimes the fountain, sometimes there's a drought. Sometimes there's a little bit of muck in the stopper and doesn't really work out. So now 3 roaches are going to fight a bunch of adepts here. They will trade one off, so that's always going to be rather nice indeed. And behind this hero, it's the Zoun build. We have War Prism speed on the way. We have disruptors on the way here. So SCARLETT really does not have that opportunity that she may be looking for to move out on the map here and just like double the army supply and go kill her opponent because, well, oh, I really like this adept movement too. This is not something we see all that often, where all the adepts, they move on in, go right on the edge of the creep with an observer and just shade back immediately, and their only goal is to knock creep down. It's almost risk-free if you time it properly. And yeah, that's exactly what Hero is doing. Behind this, of course, he has 56 workers. He does have a third base. Disruptors are underway. SCARLETT, she's just growing beyond reproach at this point. Her fourth base underway. She's on 67 workers, so full 3-base saturation. And at this point, we should start to see her supply really just skyrocket here. She's got everything she wants from the income perspective for the time being. And, well, just build roaches, just build ravagers, do all that fun stuff. Or maybe go do something else. Maybe drop a Hydrogen, maybe drop an infestation pit, go into a quick hive, get fast lurkers, and go to town. That being said, this is not a storm build from Heroes. This is, in fact, a disruptor build. Disruptors are somewhat good against lurkers. That makes sense, right? You get that additional range. They kind of act like tanks in that manner, especially before lurkers have seismic spines. So maybe a hero actually has a little bit of a tech advantage here going on into the mid game. But it's still not going to be easy because, again, everything he has attempted to do has been swatted aside. 1 roach has died, 7 zerglings have died. That's just about it. SCARLETT, of course, she has her 4th base just about done now. She's going to start mining from it. Lurker Den on the way. Hive as well. SCARLETT very content to move on into the mid-late game here because, well, it's going to be Colossus behind this. It's going to be things that are not Skytoss, things that SCARLETT can fight reasonably well with a ground army. But Hero, he's got Colossus on the way, of course. But he is already moving out on the map here. He is looking to pressure, and SCARLETT's entire army is out of position. Really nice move here from Hero with the War Prism. He's going to kill 5 workers, and now, with these 3 disruptors, SCARLETT is going to struggle to take this engagement, especially considering Hero wants to sit on the high ground. But it looks like we do have a bit of a surround getting set on up here as the Queens are going to sit here, make sure the War Prism is not able to find its way back on in. 7 workers have died, though, so finally a little bit of damage here from SCARLETT. Or that SCARLETT has taken is a better way to say that, I guess. And SCARLETT now, her hive is just about done. The Lurker Den is done. Hydras are on the way. And once these Hydras are done, it's going to be a whole lot more difficult for Hero to really push on in. But what we see here is the much heralded, the much vaunted, the 2 Disruptor, well, I guess it's really 3 Disruptor, 1 Colossus. But traditionally, the 2 Disruptor, 2 Colossus all in. And Lurkers are not done. There is no hive tech that SCARLETT can really make use of. So it's going to be very difficult indeed for her to take that fight. But she will knock down the Observer immediately. So if she can get some Lurkers out, going to be rather nice indeed. Disruptor shot is going to damage 1 queen and kill off a Hydra. Not really all that much for the moment. And SCARLETT on a massive surround coming on in. The force field is going to be able to zone off the right-hand side of this, and disruptor shots are actually going to be massive indeed. The second set of force field is going to do a really good job fating off a lot of these Zerglings. But we should start to see some lurkers get morphed on in because seismic spines, it is underway. SCARLETT getting a big surround set on up here. Hero, if he wants, can now attack on into the front, which I think he started to realize just a little bit. But now we got the surround coming on. Disruptor shots not going to land anywhere, shape, or form as well as they need to. And SCARLETT now, she's going to force Hero back just a little bit. Disruptors are going to start to go down as long as she knocks down the power units of this army. The Colossus, the Disruptor, she's going to be in a rather good spot indeed. But the Colossus is firing strong. The Blink Stalkers are firing strong. Hero, he's got too much here as he blinks on forward. SCARLETT, she has nothing left in this game. Nothing whatsoever. And GG Hero, he's going to take game number 2 just like that. All right, so game 1 went to SCARLETT. She said, "Ha, your glaive timing isn't going to work. In fact, I'm going to go kill you with it." Game 2 went to Hero. The glaive timing also didn't work, but It also did not work because Scarlett got a little bit too greedy. And she was, in fact, punished for it quite significantly. And now, well, Hero, he took a game. I guess that's the ultimate punish, right? That game was for you because you use a similar build. Nice. And yeah, you talk about being a fan of Hero since you were 9. I've been a fan of Scarlett since I was 15. Since I knew what StarCraft was. In fact, Scarlett was the reason I started even playing the game, not much less watching it. So that is fair. Game number 3, of course, it is on Juggernaut, as well. Those of you that have eyes can see. Those of you that have ears, you're welcome. I'm telling you that it is Juggernaut. And this is another bigger map, right? This is another map that maybe Hero's not going to opt for a 2-base build. Instead, go for a 3-base build. But what I'm really curious to see is where his tech goes from here. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. There, that is, once again, that's the fast Twilight. So this should be the Glaives build once again. But of course, there is the opportunity for this to be some sort of Dark Shrine Tuck. We're going to have to see how much gas is mined. Well, doesn't really matter because we're gonna have that gas, and really it's just a question of what upgrade, whether Hero decides to get an upgrade or whether he does decide to get the Dark Shrine. As whether Twilight Council will complete natural, of course, done here for Hero, as he did not opt to block the natural for Scarlett, so she will be able to, she will be allowed to get her natural up at a timing that she would be looking for instead of the having to take it at the third, having to deal with that. But there we go, Glaives underway here for Scarlett. Excuse me, for Hero. And I guess he kind of thinks that he's found a solution to the way Scarlett wants to play, because, well, it worked for him in game 2, kind of. Not really. It was the follow-up that did it. But I guess, well, we have 2 gateways underway, not 3. And the Robo should be up eventually, but it's not going to be all that fast. So I guess we're going to see the same build Hero went for in game number 2, right? 3-gate Glaives into a 3rd base, into disruptors, into that 2 disruptor 2 Colossus all in that Zoun has created for himself. Oh, look at this, the Adepts will shade on in, and Scarlett actually a little bit short on units for the moment, but that's going to be a rather clutch indeed block there. The Adepts are going to get 1 worker, I believe. Now we're going to start to see a couple more go down, and 3 workers will die immediately. Already really fantastic damage there for Hero in at the pro level. That shouldn't happen. That's not damage that you expect to happen here. Have happened for Scarlett, and that means that she's either gonna have less roaches, or she's gonna be at like 38, 39 drones when she starts having to make work instead of 41, which means the hold is gonna be a little bit less powerful. But again, this is the build that here. This is the Zoun build, or apparently we're supposed to call it the Zogran build now. I guess is we have a Forge on the way. We have a Robo Bay underway already. So this is pressure. This is just a, well, if you get damaged on, that's really nice. But this is just forcing units out of Scarlett. This is forcing Scarlett to make 1 reaction, and then, well, hoping that you can punish that. But oh, Scarlett's doing a really cool build here. So this is something I think we saw Rogue do for a while, and it worked out for a bit. And then kind of Protoss players learned how to deal with it. But the idea of this is you only get 300 gas worth of stuff, right? You get 300 gas worth of stuff, you get 3 Ravagers, and then you just get a surround on the Adepts. You drop miles down on their heads, and it's totally fine. There are a lot of Zerglings underway here for Scarlett, though. Okay, so she will get the surround on in here. Queens are going to try to knock that War Prism down. But I feel like Scarlett's going all in. She only has 4 Queens, but she's continuing to make more and more units in a game that Hero is not. So she says, yeah, it's time for me to run across the map. The Queens are just going to shadow the Adepts. Hero does not have much army on the ground right now at all. And yes, more and more Roaches, more and more Ravagers are underway. The 3rd base, at the very least, it's going to get killed, but Scarlett needs more than this. I feel like this is almost a red herring. She needs to commit into the natural immediately, but she does need those Ravagers to sync on up, so that's going to be that. Disruptor shot is, well, there is 1 Disruptor here, so we will, of course, have that recall. But that Disruptor is not going to be knocked down any of these Ravagers, not yet. And now the Zerglings, they're going to find their way on in, actually, but oh, it's going to be force field. Nice job there from Hero. Aiden is out, but Zerglings, once again, they're going to find their way on in. That force field is going to be a little bit better, and it's not going to get targeted down quite as fast. More and more Zerglings come piling on in. There is 1 Disruptor, but again, it's not doing much. These shield batteries are doing such a good job here, healing things out. and we still haven't used Steel Battery Overture, so now we're going to see the Disruptor Shot going off. Another Raptor will go down, but there are more where that came from. Scarlet's army supply low. It's dropping down low. The Disruptor Shot is going to get the rest of things, and that's going to be a GG. Hero, he moves on.